What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Charter Podcast. Ruthie Polinsky, 𝗂𝗏𝗏, Alex Shapiro back with you to talk Bears football. We are so excited to spend a little bit more time on something that happened this week. Clay and I were thrown a curveball before our show this week, and we'll get into the whole thing. Turned out to be a great day, and we're going to unpack it sort of as the course of this podcast rolls on. But first of all, fellas, how we doing? Happy Thursday. What is today? Thursday. It's really Clay and Maya's weekend because we don't have the big pro football show today because we have the doubleheader for the White Sox, and then we don't have a show tomorrow on Friday. How are we feeling?
I feel great. Good. Happy Juneteenth also. Happy Juneteenth.
Thanks, guys.
Clay, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Happy Juneteenth. Yeah, I'm going to go, since we have the day off after this, I'm going to go out to the suburbs and I'm going to get some blood panels done since I haven't done that in a long time with a local doc just to check all my levels, make sure this ticker's still ticking, make sure everything's still attached, you know, the normal stuff. So get intensive. Is that the word I'm looking for? Intensive screening to make sure I'm healthy and that the Charter podcast will go on forever.
Exactly what we want to hear. Will any of the results show the effects of a birthday dinner last night?
That's what I'm worried about. I had a birthday dinner. I had like 5 glasses of red wine, and I'm a little slow today, guys, but it's like the Jordan flu game. We're in Chicago. Jordan, dropped 38 in the NBA Finals, Alex, with the flu, and guess what? They won the game and won the series. So that's what I'm channeling right now.
And here's the thing: like, if your panels come back great, like this is awesome because this is like hangover panels. If the numbers are good, think of you in your prime. Like, I would be stoked. I think it's kind of nice going in when you're a little off. Because if your numbers are right, if your numbers are good, then in your prime, you're even better.
Yeah, the guy told me I needed to be fasted too, so I can't eat anything until afterwards. And it's
just water and black coffee or something, right?
Yeah, water and black coffee. I have a black coffee right here. Yeah,
a little tough after 4 glasses of red wine last night. I would, you need something in the morning to it's like settle
potatoes.
Your stomach.
Exactly. I'm gonna drink some electrolytes as well, but
okay, good.
Did that last night.
All right, good.
For all of you out there, that's a fail-safe hangover cure.
Drink water.
Electrolytes.
Speaking of fasting, I just completed a 5-day fast. It's a guided fast, so it mimics the results of fasting. It's a very low caloric sort of detox that I just did for 5 days with my husband.
So Ruthie's in ketosis right now, so she's really sharp.
In ketosis. And all I had this morning was a little bar. I'm going to see if I can and then today is sort of like your reacclimation day where you can kind of like eat light foods. And I'm just telling you guys, like, I feel freaking amazing. Like, really? I am.
How much weight did your husband lose?
My husband lost 11 pounds in 5 days.
That's not normal. I'm sorry. That's too fast to lose that amount of weight.
It's a lot of it's water weight. And then your body enters, like in the back half of the cleanse, your body enters ketosis. So you're in this like fat burning phase, which is like, you're not supposed to do that for a long time. But it's, it was really, it was almost, Clay, I feel like you'll appreciate it. It's like this mental challenge. It's like, we can do it, And obviously we have a big trip coming up, which we'll get to later, but we have a big trip coming up and we just wanted to be feeling our best. And my husband said to me this morning, he's like, now I'm just going to eat and drink everything in sight and it's all going to go to shit. Like, exactly. Like, I'm so mad that like, I just spent all this time doing this. And he was like, I could have kept going. We should have done this earlier. Cause you like, it's a really like, mental, like you feel so proud of yourself when you do it because you get in bed, you feel really good during the day and you get in bed at night and you're like, I'm
hungry. That's the worst.
Then you just go to bed
and then I'm hungry.
And then you wake up and you're like, I'm not that hungry. It's weird how your body works. So anyway, we're feeling great, and we're sort of reacclimating today, and then we leave tomorrow, which we'll talk more about our plans for the upcoming weeks at the end of this. But I want to get into what happened this week when Clay and I were at Rate Field getting ready to do the Big Pro Football Show. We had our whole show lined up, and about 4:00, we were going on at 5. At 4:00, we get a text from our producer being like, hey, the Bears rookies are at Rate Field. We're trying to get one of them on the show. And we're like, oh, amazing. Let's see if we can get 𝗁cie. Because, 𝗁cie's sort of been the headline of the offseason, especially with the position that he's been. Let's see if we can get 𝗁cie. Word on the street is all good. We got 𝗁cie. I'm like, great. This is going to be so fun. 5-10 minutes go by. They're like, 𝗁cie doesn't want to do it. And we're like, okay, that's fair. Like, he's sort of mediated out.
He did the circus. He did the car wash at the Cubs
he's
game.
done a lot of media. Like, he really has. I was like, someone that we haven't talked to? Kyle Monangai, who everyone knows I'm obsessed with him, but that's fine. I was like, they gave us some options of some other guys. And I was like, you know what? Kyle Monangai, I don't think he's spoken to us since he got drafted. Like, there has been no access to this guy. And that's another room that I think has a lot of great storylines. Obviously, without the Bears adding another veteran running back in the offseason, to me, that says something about the confidence they have in that room, right? So they like this kid, Kyle Monangai. I'm like, let's get Kyle Monangai. Kyle Monangai was so much fun. Such a pro. We ended up getting him live on our show. You would have thought he had done this 30 times in his life. He was so natural. He was so comfortable, so confident, so humble. We have that interview, and we're going to play it for you right now, and then we're going to react to it. But is there anything you guys wanted to say just ahead of the interview, or should we listen to it and react?
I wanted to say one thing about our last episode with Alex Shapiro. We kind of clowned him a little bit when he suggested that Luther Burden should have thrown out the first pitch. Why did 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 throw out the first pitch? We said, obviously, Luther Burden's hurt, and he can't throw out the first pitch because he's hurt. But on the White Sox game, Luther Burden threw out the first pitch. So Alex Shapiro was kind of right, and I just wanted to give him his flowers so he can gloat a little bit when
unless he miraculously heard.
I don't know if you're right, Alex. The point was, I said if Luther Burden III sat out the entire offseason program and then threw out the first pitch at the Cubs game, I think everyone would have been like, dude, what? Like,
well, my point is, it doesn't take anything to throw a first pitch. Like, if you're gonna throw it like a pitcher, like, obviously do it. But like, come on, we have like Sister Jean throws out the first pitch. She's 100. Like,
well,
we
she's
have
not a professional athlete who's competitive and wants it to actually look good.
Look at Ben Johnson. Look at Ben Johnson throw out the first pitch and tell me you only need your arm to throw it out.
Ben Johnson also squats 900 pounds.
9,000
pounds.
Allegedly.
You can throw a first pitch safely without hurting yourself. And that was my point, is that you can just go out there and throw it. Like, I don't think his soft tissue is. We heard from Clay that bicep is not soft tissue, so we know it's not a bicep injury.
He exerted some force, and all I'm saying is hope he's healthy.
Well, there is a chance that he miraculously healed in the 5 or 6 days, whatever it was between. And,
maybe he was close at the end of OTAs, etc. That's fine. I mean, I was out there for that last day of OTAs. I don't think he needed to be that healthy to be on there, but what do I know? He wasn't out there. So let's listen to that. Let's listen to that conversation with Kyle Monangai, with David Haugh, Clay Harbor, and I on the Big Pro Football Show, and then we'll get some reaction on the other side. Welcome back to the Big Pro Football Show. Ruthie Polinsky, David Haugh, Clay Harbor. And at the end of the table is our new friend, Kyle Monangai, the rookie running back for the Chicago Bears, who is here with all the rookies tonight, which is so much fun. Are you going to spoil who's throwing out the first pitch tonight?
No, I don't even know. And if I did know, I don't think I should tell.
If you know, it might be. Wasn't supposed to spoil.
It might be. I don't know. I know 𝗁cie threw out one before, so we'll see.
Did you throw a strike?
A little shaky.
Okay. What'd you think of Wrigley Field?
It was nice. It was nice. Yeah, it was nice.
You're not a big baseball guy, but you appreciate
I'm not, but I do appreciate the fans especially. They let you know that they support their teams.
Yeah.
Hey, before we came on air, Kyle said he thought he could take one out of here.
Really?
I do, yeah.
I wouldn't doubt you.
I'm standing on that statement.
That's one thing you've told us. Don't doubt you.
Yeah.
Nah, absolutely not.
Kyle, what's it been like these first few months, just getting adjusted, few weeks really? I mean, what's it been like being a Chicago Bear?
Yeah, it's been surreal. It's been surreal, but, just working. At the end of the day, we're playing football, doing what I love to do, and I'm blessed to do every day. So it's been surreal, but I'm taking everything in, working every day, and just getting closer with the guys, enjoying my time.
So it seems like in our business, whenever people refer to you at the draft, it's always 7th-round draft pick, Kyle Monangai.
Yeah.
What does that do to you? Does it motivate you? What do you think about being known as the 7th-round draft pick who maybe might be a long shot?
Yeah, I mean, I embrace it. People want to always put a label on me at every level of football I played. It's nothing that I'm not used to. And, I'll wear it with pride. That's what it was. And then we'll see at the end of this thing what I'm known for.
So to go off of that with the 7th-round pick, like I was a guy, I covered a lot of the draft here. You had back-to-back 1,200-yard years in the Big Ten for Rutgers, and you never fumbled the football in 707 career touches. Were you shocked that you lasted all the way to the 7th round?
Yeah, I mean, I would be lying if I said that's where I thought I was going to go. I definitely expected higher of myself, but, that's where the chips landed, and to be honest with you, couldn't be more excited to be where I am, the situation I fell in. And a lot of people that I talked to prior, they said it's not necessarily where you go, or what number you go, it's where you go. Like, that's the most important thing. So I'm blessed to be in Chicago, and I love how things ended up.
Kyle, a lot of people were maybe anticipating the Bears adding another veteran running back to that room this offseason. They didn't. A lot of those guys are off the board and have signed with other teams. Does that say anything to you about the belief that this coaching staff has in you and your ability to maybe compete for a solid role on this roster?
Yeah, it says something, but to me, I still got to prove to them that they made the right decision back in April and picking me, and, I do that every day, and that's what my goal is every day. So whether it's workouts, meetings, whatever it is, practice, obviously, I'm going to go prove it every day that they made the right choice.
You played for an intense head coach at Rutgers, 𝗏 Schiano, who was a former Bears assistant. He's a football lifer. And he will get in your face, and he's an intense guy.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson also comes across to us. Now, we know him as a play caller and an assistant, but so far it seems like he could be pretty intense and in your face as well. How would you describe the similarities and Ben Johnson's style?
Two different people, but coaching style, I think, Coach Johnson has his moments where, he's laid back and, we're doing when we're firing. He expects what he expects. The similarity in the two, I think, is, they're going to set out the expectation of what they want, and then they're going to demand that. And when they don't see it, something will be said. So, I love the way he pushes us in practice. Practice is fun. It's high energy, and it starts with him.
To that effect, what about Eric Bieniemy? How intense is that guy? I mean, we get to stand there on the practice field right by where you guys are doing your individual drills. And the words that come out of that man's mouth sometimes would scare me, but you guys are so tough and you guys are able to take it. What does that coaching style do for you?
I'm used to it. I mean, I'm from New Jersey. That's how people coach me since I was 8 years old. And I love it. That's the type of coaching style I respond well to. And, like you said, you guys hear it like every day. That's how he is no matter what's going on. So.
Okay, what would you say the strengths of your game are, and if you had to fill up, say, some sort of a weakness to your game, the things you need to get better on, what would you say that is at this point in your career?
Right now, I think, strength-wise, I've been able to – I think my vision's one of my strongest attributes I have. My ability to pass protect, something I take pride in. And, I'm obviously, first I'm a running back. I'm a ball carrier first. So I think just how I see the field and what I'm able to bring to the team, to the offense, when the ball's in my hand and out of my hands. I think I'm versatile in that sense. And then weaknesses, I think it's just everything. Like, I'm very I critique myself very heavily, and I always try to improve and see which ways I can improve my game. So, whether it's trying to, see things faster with studying film, whether it's bursting, my physical, take care of my body, trying to see what weight I like to play at. Now I'm playing with bigger people, faster people. So I'm just figuring things out, but weakness is something I work on every day.
So if you have the kind of success that people think you're capable of having this year as a rookie, you wouldn't be the first 7th-round draft pick out of Rutgers to run the ball and be a successful running back. 𝗍cie 𝗵𝗶𝗋 with the Chiefs is the example. Have you talked to him about it? Do you know him at all? Did he set the example?
He was on the team.
I was on the team with him. That's my brother for sure, and he's helped me along the way just with questions, having someone that's done it. And like you said, 7th round, another guy that people thought wasn't going to amount to much, and then you see what he's done at his 3 years in the league so far. So, he's helped me a lot.
What are your plans these next couple of weeks
to get ready for training camp? Will you be here? Will you go train somewhere? What do you like to do this
I'll be
Well, I
training.
guess this is also your first
My
NFL
first.
offseason.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
how do you kind of figure out what you want to do?
Leaning on those guys like Pop, guys that I know that I'm close with that have done it, and hearing what they do, guys on the team, like the vets here, obviously, they accepted all of us with open arms, all the rookies. So whenever we have a question, they're always quick to answer and help us out. But yeah, I'm going to be training. Getting ready for camp. I'm excited.
What do you think of Chicago? Have you been here before before the Bears drafted you?
So no, I haven't. This is my first time when, we came for camp, for rookie mini camp, and I love it so far. I'm still figuring everything out, trying to see, where the good food spots, got to find those, and then just the whole Midwest in general and being out here. So, yeah, it's been fun. I like it.
Anybody stand out to you? We were at OTAs and minicamp. Any players you played against or guys on the offense that you were just like, wow, like, welcome to the NFL, like, this guy could play? Was there one of those guys that really stood out?
Well, yeah. I think everybody, like, sometimes you kind of, and as rookies, we talk about this and joke about it in the locker room. It's like, we're playing with guys that we've been watching, for a while. Like, first time meeting 𝗍𝗃, I was like, this is 𝗍𝗃. Like, that's kind of crazy. I'm taking reps with him and team, and it's like, dang, this is kind of surreal. But, DJ does his thing. All the guys that you hear about, like, in practice, how they show up on the field, that's how they show up in practice. So, you get to see guys that have been doing it a long time, and it's just fun to watch them work.
Is there a game on the schedule you're looking forward to most? Is there anything?
Opening night, Monday night versus the Vikings.
Football, baby.
That's and also I can't lie, Black Friday versus the Eagles. It's gonna be fun. I got a lot of family that's already told me they're coming very deep to that game.
Growing up in Jersey, were you an Eagles fan?
I was not. I can't say that I was.
Who were you rooting for?
I was back in the day. The Jets. I was definitely rooting for. Yeah.
You missed out, man.
I did. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Kyle, I love this hat. I mean, it's 93 degrees out here. We got good with beanie
What
weather.
style are you going for there?
Nah, I just felt it was comfortable. Also, don't have a haircut, so.
Okay.
But
Understand.
yeah, I know you got to. But
Okay,
nah.
Before we let you go, 𝗍𝗃 played in the league for 9 years. What advice would you give a rookie going into the league, what to expect and what he should be ready for?
I would say find your routine.
Yeah.
Pick that veteran guy, DeAndre Swift, a guy that's been doing it for a while in your room. When I came in, it was Brent Selleck with the Eagles. Find him, follow him, get the routine, the film room, the athletic room, go into the watching the tape, and really just figure out the routine day to day. When you get into the season and training camp, you'll really be able to figure that out. But to me, that was the main thing when I saw exponential growth from when I was a young guy was the routine. And make sure you get in your book, because coming into training camp, the guys that know what they're doing, they have a big step above the guys that are kind of still figuring it out. So you can really make a splash coming in and knowing your stuff. And I know Ben already called you out for being on your stuff during minicamp.
Yeah, gotta be.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kyle, thank you so much. We're out of time, but this was so great getting to know you a little bit. We haven't gotten to talk to you much, so this has been really cool.
Thanks for doing this.
I can promise you have a lot of fans already in Chicago. 3 of them are sitting right here,
That's
so
awesome.
we're all
Thank
rooting
you,
for
guys. I appreciate you for having me.
So there you have it, Kyle Monangai. I think when you hear him talk, that's someone that I think could quickly become a fan favorite if he can play well and contribute on this team. Alex, since you were not a part of that conversation, I want to get your reaction and some of your main takeaways from what Kyle had to say.
Well, kicking off, you said it right away. This guy just felt like a seasoned vet up there, just completely unfazed by doing live TV, felt so comfortable, so personable. And, as we really haven't had that many touch points with him, starting to get a sense of his personality, it's like this moment, it's kind of similar to our conversation about 𝗦cie𝗰𝗶𝗟. This moment doesn't seem too big for him. He seems to understand exactly what's in front of him and what he needs to do to get there. 2 things in particular, and then I'll kick it off to the 2 of you. And I have one surprising thing that I'll save for later. But 2 things in particular really stood out to me. One is the question of, hey, it's always mentioned that you're a 7th round pick. What's up with that? How do you react to that? And he goes like, not going to lie, I thought I was going to go higher. Clay, you brought up his incredible rushing, production at Rutgers. He never fumbled. Yeah, I thought I was going to go higher, but I had people in my corner telling me it doesn't matter where in the draft you go. It matters where you land, not the number that you're taken with, but what team you land with. And I'm here with the Bears, and it's a great situation for me. So I am pleased as punch. And then the other side of that is, okay, you are the 7th round pick, but the coaches, Ben Johnson called you out. as someone he was impressed with, Ruthie, you mentioned it. They didn't sign a running back. There was so much talk. Should the Bears sign J.K. Dobbins? Should the Bears sign Nick Chubb? The Bears did neither of those things. They're rolling what they got. Isn't that a vote of confidence? He's like, yeah, it feels good, but the important thing is I have to continue to prove to my coaches every single day that they made the right choice when they drafted me, that they made the right choice by not adding a running back at this stage of the offseason. He's not resting on his laurels. He's not patting himself on the back saying, I did it, I made it, here we go. Because he understands it's June 19th right now. I need to continue to prove to my coaches every day they made the right choice. Not prove it to myself. I already know. I already have all the confidence in the world. Show them, yes, I'm your guy. You were right to pick me. You were right to keep me around. Those two things in particular are just like, wow, this guy really gets it.
Clay, what were your takeaways?
My takeaways are this is a guy that's driven, motivated, willing, very humble, knows that there's a lot that he doesn't know, but willing to work. And that's exactly what you want in a rookie 7th round pick. He wants to prove people wrong. He knows, hey, it's not like Alex said, it's not when you go, it's where you go. And honestly, you couldn't put this guy, if you're a running back coming out, you could pick a situation to be in, this reconfigured offensive line with all these guys up front that have blocked for years with years of experience. And then with this new coach that loves to run the football, not with just one back, but with two, like these weapons on the outside. So you can't really just stack the box, and a quarterback that can make plays and can run the zone read if you need to and pull an extra defender out the box. Like, this is a perfect situation for a running back. And maybe in Chicago, I know there's some. I have Twitter that wish the Bears would have drafted a running back a lot earlier, and maybe would have went with Travion Henderson or Quinshon Judkins, and then 𝗵𝗂 and then maybe the Ashton Jeanty truthers. The Bears should have traded the draft for Ashton Jeanty. But I think Kyle Monangai, even though he is a 7th rounder, people got to give him a chance. I know he only ran a 4.66 second 40. I know he's not the most athletic guy when you look at his numbers, but when you put on the tape and you see he had back-to-back over 1,200-yard seasons in the Big Ten at Rutgers with an offense that wasn't great, when you see that he was a two-time team captain voted on by his peers, his teammates, twice, Alex. When you see that he had never fumbled the football in 700-plus touches in his career, that's not an accident, first of all. Like, I've unfortunately had a fumble. It's a very lonely feeling. You're feeling lonely. Worse than when you leave The Bachelor, Ruthie. You are feeling lonely when you fumble the football, okay? This guy has 0. He doesn't know that feeling because he's never fumbled the football. Okay, so when you put all this together, you listen to him, you talk to him, you realize that there's a chance the Bears got something here. I know he's 7th round, but there's a chance.
It was funny. We were rewatching it. It was re-airing on our air yesterday, and I was rewatching it. And you see sort of height-wise how small he is sitting next to Clay, right? I mean, like, there's just sort of that difference. But when you see how wide he is and how big and strong he looks, and I wanted to ask him, we sort of ran out of time, but one of the questions I had sort of in my docket of things I wanted to ask is, how much are you looking forward to putting the pads on? Because he, to me, seems like the type of player that is going to thrive in that situation. That's where he shines when the pads come on. And I mean, let's be real, guys. He's competing with Roschon Johnson. I mean, he's not competing with Travis Homer because Travis Homer just got re-signed and paid, right?
And special teams core guy.
Special teams core guy until he gets hurt, right? So there's that history as a part of it.
Yep.
But if he can beat out Roschon Johnson for that number 2 spot, I mean, that really feels like a realistic opportunity. And you guys heard it. Like, I wasted no time. David was laughing at me because I wasted no time. I was like, they didn't sign a running back. What does that say to you? Like, are you ready for that? Like, and I kind of just like jumped right into it. And he handled that so well. Like, he just handled that. It was like he had rehearsed that answer, but like, I don't know if he had.
It didn't sound rehearsed. He might have rehearsed it, but it didn't sound rehearsed, which is also key.
and how, I love his quick answer to talking about how he's the 7th round pick. I embrace it. He's got it. He's got something that's just working for him, and it's why he was so successful in college. And I think it's why he's going to be successful at this level as well. Was there anything like? Oh, I know what I was going to say. Alex, did a tear come to your eye at the end when David asked Clay to give him some advice, and how beautiful that advice was from Clay? I was melting. I really was.
I don't know if a tear came to my eye, but that was a real moment for sure. I was like, all right, Monangai, listen up. This guy knows what he's talking about. He walked the walk. He didn't just talk the talk. He walked the walk. And it was good advice about attaching yourself to a guy and getting your routine down. And so, yes, that absolutely rang true, where I was like, Kyle Monangai is getting some good stuff. He's getting the goods from our guy right now.
David Hawk could have been like, yo, Clay, I'm going to ask you some advice, to give to Kyle Monangai. But no, David Hawk just put me on the spot. This was literally just on the spot. And that's the first thing that comes to mind is obviously that routine. Find that veteran player that has done it and kind of do what they do, use their routine and make it better. You got to obviously personalize it, customize it to yourself. It's like when you're driving a car, you got to you move the seat up a little bit. You find a nice car, someone you likes, but you customize a little bit. Customize your routine, Alex, and make it your own. But when you see someone else have success leaves clues, and that's what I realized when I was young in the NFL.
And what was so impressive, Clay, before we even got to your advice, early on, when, I think it was maybe the first question I asked him, how's it going? Like, what's it been like the last couple of weeks? And he was like, I'm trying to figure out my playing weight. Like, I'm going up against bigger and stronger guys. I was like, this guy's figured it out. Like, he is way ahead of the game, it feels. And when it comes to I know that I'm going to have to step it up a notch. I'm going to have to figure out how he's already working on his routine is what I'm trying to say.
And the other side of that, Ruthie, and it goes back to you wanting to see him with the pads on. It ties into that going earlier, is he knows his strengths. He knows who he is as a player. That to me was also very clear. Clay, you asked him, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And the two strengths are honestly the two things that immediately stand out when you watch him play. He said, my vision and my pass pro. And that stands out right away. This guy knows how to hit the hole. If you need 4 yards, he'll get you 5. Like, it's just very clear. Like, this is my hole. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to take exactly what's in front of me. That stuff is great. He knows that about himself. The pass pro, that's something he takes pride in. That's something that we're going to be able to see when the pads come on. That is something that is really, really important if you want to make a football team and get on the football field, is being able to pass pro. He understands that about himself and knows, like, okay, this is part of my secret sauce. This is part of what's made me successful, right? And I think that understanding of, okay, this is what I'm really good at. And then, the weaknesses, he's like everything, which is what a lot of football players say, that he can get better at everything. But that understanding of like, okay, this is kind of what makes me special, I think is also, it's pretty mature for a young guy, right? Yeah. For a young rookie to know this is why I'm in the NFL right now. And these are the things that make me great.
I also loved when, I think it was Ruthie. It could have been David. I think it was Ruthie, though, that asked him about his running back coach, Eric Bieniemy. And you just see him kind of like light up with this smile. And then he's like, man, yeah, he's tough, but I don't remember exactly what he said.
I'm from Jersey. He goes, I'm from Jersey. That's how we talk.
Yes, because you asked him, like, he's talked, he's saying some things that are, interesting. And you can tell he's open to getting coached hard. He's not a guy that's going to shrivel away from that, and that's going to get the best out of him.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was so glad that happened, and it was just such a treat to kind of get to know one of the guys that has gotten a lot of he's been talked about a lot, but just hasn't gotten a ton of attention because he hasn't really spoken to the media that much. He's not one of the main, guys. So that was really cool. Also, just to preface, we obviously wanted to get Colston Loveland, but he had a ton of other media obligations.
So he was doing in hits in the booth.
Yeah. So he was, obviously, but it's fun. I love highlighting some of these guys that aren't getting, maybe the coverage that the big names are getting, because that's what we love about our jobs. We love highlighting like players who are, Kyle Monangai, undersized, competing for a role on a deep Bears roster. And, it's the story of overcoming adversity. Let's see what he can do. And obviously it's someone that has a lot of mental toughness and has a cool story. So we're excited for him. I told him, I was like, we're all rooting for you.
Okay. The one thing that maybe surprise is not the right word, but the one thing that made me tilt my head a little bit, I forget who asked it, but basically like, have you had your welcome to the NFL moment lining up against somebody or lining up alongside somebody? And what did he say? Yeah, man, it's crazy growing, being in a locker room with guys I grew up watching, like Case Keenum. It's like, hey, you know what? Case Keenum had some really great seasons. That season with the Vikings, really good. He had some success with the Rams. Case Keenum was not the player that I thought he was going to say. I thought maybe he was going to say DeAndre Swift, maybe DJ Moore. But Case Keenum, baller, he commands respect in that locker room.
Oh, and he should. He's had such an I think there's so much respect, Clay. You can speak to this, I'm sure. There's so much respect for guys that can stay in the league a long time, right? I mean, that's probably the highest level of respect you can get, whether you won or not.
Years. When you're 15 years or 14 years, that level of respect, it's like Mercedes Lewis. It's like you just automatically, over the amount of money you make, over a lot of other things that people think might be important, over the contract you got, is like the number of years that you've done it. Like that's the biggest flex, is like those like ultra vets. It's like, okay, what is this guy doing? Because everybody knows how hard it is to get up and not get injured and to stay healthy and to stay on top of your game for such a long time. That longevity is definitely key. So yeah, hats off, proverbial hat, if I was wearing one, would be off to Case Keenum on your long career, and Kyle Monangai basically calling you old.
It was cool. It was really fun. I'm glad it worked out the way it did. And hopefully we'll have more opportunities to do stuff like that on our show, which was really fun. It was unique because we were at the rate and the players were, I don't know how often there were going to be players at the rate for our show, but
yeah, I like that they gave him the City Connects.
I know when they were playing the Cardinals though. So like the red is a little misleading, but understood. Okay. Let's talk about our plan here on the charter for just the next couple of weeks. A little hectic here. So I am leaving tomorrow. I will be gone for 2 weeks. So see ya. You guys, Clay will be holding down the fort throughout the next couple of weeks. Alex, you're going to be in and out.
I'm leaving July 1st and I will be back on July 9th.
Where
so
are you
Clay,
going?
you are going to be our anchor.
You're both missing my birthday, and guess what? July 2nd, my birthday is a Wednesday, so I will be doing a show solo on the charter on my birthday, and I'm looking forward to everyone listening because we're going to have an extra fun time there, and I'll have a little surprise for everybody.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that you're going to do that.
Now I kind of want to cancel my trip.
We're going to celebrate your birthday when we get back, though. Yeah. And Alex, where are you going?
I am going to Saskatchewan, Canada, practically to the Northwest Territories.
Doing some
with
fishing?
Baby Jake?
Not with Baby Jake. Baby Jake is not coming on this.
Doing some fishing.
Doing some fishing. We're going to catch some big fish. With my father, my brother-in-law, cousin, and a bunch of my uncles.
Fun. Oh my gosh, a little boys trip. Are you going to be sad to leave your little boy?
I am. I'm going to be sad.
This will be the longest you've been away, probably.
Absolutely. I've been away from him for like a night or two, but never like 9 days like this. So that'll be tough.
Yeah, FaceTime, man. It's going to feel like you're at home.
Kate, God bless her. Anyone coming to help her?
She'll have some friends helping out, I'm sure. But yes,
okay,
Kate, God bless her, is right. I mean, that's every day of my life. That's every
minute
of my life.
I know. We love Kate. I know.
We love Kate on this trip.
Ruthie, where are you going?
I am going to Spain and Portugal.
Very fun. So yeah, that ketosis, throw it out the window.
It's
already
call it ketoast because it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. Yeah.
What are you looking forward to most in Spain?
Say it again.
What are you looking forward to most in Spain?
Just quality time with my sweet husband. No, I think it's fun. We're stopping in a bunch of cities. We're meeting his parents in one city. We're meeting his brother for a few days in a city in Portugal, like a small beach town, which will be fun for a few days. So good mix of the, quality time for us two, and then some quality Freed time as well. Love the Freeds. A lot of laughs with those people, as you know. Jared Freed, my brother-in-law, 37 and Single. That's a special on Netflix. Make sure you check it out. He's got a comedy special. He's a stand-up comedian, to anyone who didn't know that.
Like me, but
He's now 40 and Single. The special came out a few years ago. So
Jared Freed, it's a Netflix special. To 𝗂𝗏𝗏, it's a classified ad.
Oh, we love it. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. That's why you should watch the special, Clay.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Maybe it'll help me out here.
It won't. It's just sort of commiserating with you, I think.
Okay.
All right, guys, this was great stuff. Thanks again to Kyle Monangai for letting us do that. And not that he's going to listen to this. Maybe he will. It would be fun. Alex Shapiro, have a great time on your trip. 𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗃, happy birthday. We'll be talking.
Ruthie, have a great time on your trip.
I know, I'm excited. Thanks, guys. And thanks to our listeners, as always, on the Charter Podcast, brought to you by St. Xavier University. Alex Shapiro, 𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗃, I'm Ruthie Polinsky. The Charter Podcast isn't going anywhere. We're just going to be rotating people out. So we'll see you back here soon.